Today we will do external process class 9 or exocyanics, which this process acts through the agents of denudation like running water, glacier, wind and waves. This process involves in degradation and aggregation. What degradation means? Lowering or flattening of the earth's surface, and the process through which degradation are happening: weathering, mass movement, erosion, etc. Degradation is associated with aggregation. Why? Because if somewhere something is degraded, it have to be deposited in some of the places. So degradation is always associated with aggregation. All the natural agents of erosion performs both these activities, because you see, when the glaciers are moving from the mountains, they carry with them the small fine particles of the mountains and the stones. But when they move downwards and the glaciers start melting, then the particles start depositing at different places. So it's already carrying and depositing at somewhere. So wind also, when the wind is blowing, it is taking away some of the pieces of the rocks from the mountains or any of the sand particles. But half of the way or on the way, it does deposit those particles somewhere. So all the agents of weathering is working on this both process of degradation and aggregation. Now, besides degradation and aggregation by natural agents, our surface also is sculptured by biotic process. The most common forms of weathering through biological or biotic factors are the releases of organic acids and the acidifying molecules like protons, organic acids by plants, and which break down aluminum iron containing compounds in the rocks. Decaying plants and animals helps in this acidic process, because there is humic, carbonic and other acids which enhance decaying and solubility of some elements within rock. Plants' roots, they extract the enormous pressure through the crevices of rocks, which works mechanically breaking the particles, breaking the brick rocks into parts. With those, weathering process acts on those rocks and decomposes, dissolves and reduces them to fine states. How does this happen? The rocks, they are making cracks on the rocks. In those cracks, if it is raining, water particles are stored. If it cools down, the water particles starts forming ice, and when it is becoming ice, it occupies more pressure, it gives more pressure and space, and the cracks opens a lot. The next day, when the sun comes out, those ice is being melted. Again, those place, next day the process occurs, the ice is forming. So like this, the cracks become bigger and bigger, giving it a break, or it does break down from it. When massive rocks break into smaller fragments through weathering and any other process, erosional geographic agents like running water, groundwater, glacier, winds, waves, remove and transport, etc., it carry away to other places for deposition. From the above now, we can conclude that endogenic or exogenic process evaluate land surface to create initial landforms. The exogenic or endogenic process act through agents of denudation. These agents reduce the altitude and the initial landforms of the mountains, and whatever base it is, rises the level of the land by depositing Both of these processes thus play equally important role in the sculpturing of Earth's surface. The surface of the earth is not same everywhere. It is somewhere uneven, somewhere elevated, some places it is flat, low, different land features are there. So, like they are grouped under certain divisions, major different divisions, depending upon their evaluations. Our surfaces are grouped under three major categories like mountain, plateaus, and plains. Now, what are mountains? What are mountains? Mountains are steep slopes and sharp pointed tops called peaks or summits. Some of these peaks they remain perpetually covered with snow. When snow melts and the river of ice glacier slides downwards very slow along the slope of the mountain, now they carry it down and then these glaciers melt and turn into rivers. Landforms that usually rises about 1,000 meters from the sea level is known as mountain. The mountains may be a series of ranges that like the Himalayan range, the Aravalli range, Satpura ranges, and peaks, gorges, and it contains peaks, gorges, and valleys. Between the ranges there are intermount plateaus also. How does a mountain form? Mountain is formed by a geological process associated with the movement of the earth crust of the plate tectonic, as I have told you earlier. When two plates are coming two tectonic plates, they collide, and sometimes fold mountains are occurring. When tectonic plates collide, triggering formation of thickening the crust in return leads to crystal uplift and mountain formation. Colliding plates provide huge horizontal compressing and leads to fold, fault, and metamorphosis, the thick layers of the sediment that is deposited at the edge of the landmass of plates. However, there are volcanic mountains also, which is formed due to the volcanic eruption. The lava builds up around the area where the eruption occurred. Layers are built upon layer, and after a period of time a volcanic mountain is formed. Erosional agents like the sun, rain, and the wind and the running water, they wear away the soft rocks of the highlands, and the high resistant rocks are left. There are also such rocks that are left out are known as erosional mountains. Mountains are classified into fold mountain, volcanic mountain, block mountain, relict mountain, and erosional mountain. That we will do tomorrow. Thank you.